is what attracts everybody to a ground like this.
You always get a tingle. The hairs stand up on the back of your neck, you know.
It still has its aura about it. It'll last in the memory forever and a day.
Ninian Park is one of the most difficult grounds to play on.
You just kind of sensed violence under the surface.
We always had a smile on our face playing there.
Every Saturday when we play at home, you're really buzzing for it.
It's an amazing place. You just can't help it. You just goosebumps.
Sweet turn by Blake. He's still got it. That's a corner. And that is a great, magnificent goal. Cardiff have scored. It's Scott Young.
It's at home. A great place to be. It's going to be sad to leave Ninian Park.
The Ninian Park story began in the early 1900s when the Southern League told the then amateur Cardiff City, originally known as Riverside FC, that if they could find a suitable ground in Cardiff, they'd be accepted into the league's second division. Lord Ninian Edward Crichton Stewart, the younger son of the 3rd Marquess of Bute, put up the guarantee and a location was found. The ground was named after Lord Ninian, and on September the 1st, 1910, spectators stood on ash banks for the first game at Ninian Park, a 2-1 defeat to 4-time FA Cup winners Aston Villa. By the mid-20s, the club had established themselves as a force in British football, especially in the FA Cup. They lost the final in 1925, then just 2 years later made history at Wembley, beating Arsenal. Captain Fred Keno lifted the trophy. No big-name teams would ever relish a trip to Ninian for a cup tie. Beware Cardiff City at home. In '77, the Spurs came to Ninian.
I don't think anybody gave us any chance of causing an upset. They had the likes of, I think, Pat Jennings and Glenn Hoddle.
Giles almost let it through. This is Hoddle.
Couldn't hear yourself think, you know, it was tremendous.
Spurs had the big names, but City had other ideas.
That's Coates. Oh, good ball, and a good chance, and a great goal! Peter Sayer, number 10, the scorer.
To see that one flying was a tremendous feeling, especially against the mighty Spurs.
And Cardiff have taken a lead.
From the rest of the game, as soon as we scored, that was it.
Neat. Very neat.
You know, the crowd were willing us on. I mean, if we'd have lost or drawn, I don't think they'd ever forgiven us.
In the next round, City were back at Ninian for an all-Welsh tie when this last-gasp John Buchanan goal saw off Wrexham.
Buchanan! He scored!
The 90s, fashion and football, Manchester, the place to be. But in 1994, Manchester City had to come to Cardiff and make their own way down Sloper Road and experience the full Ninian Park passion.
Since that time, I've had so many people come to me and say I was there on that day. There must have been like 30 or 40,000 people there.
That day, Eddie May's Barmy Army were in full song.
You're next to your Manchester City players in their shirts and they're playing top-flight football. And you glance at them and you could see fear in their eyes because at the bottom there's this bright light and they've got to go through that light and they can hear the atmosphere and you're going down and it's getting louder and louder and when you go through the entrance of it, the whole stadium gets up on their feet, just letting you know that today could be our day.
I remember running out on that day and just, get that feeling down the back of your neck, and you just can't help it. You just goosebumps and you don't really want to warm up, you just want to go straight into the game.
And Nathan Blake certain to be a key character in this game.
The place was alive with Barmy Army and all this business, and it was hard to get things across to players and things like this. And
when you're playing, you can just hear you can hear the crowd, but it's just like an echo. It's like, it's almost like an out-of-body experience. It doesn't filter through properly.
The hairs on the back of my neck, they used to go up when they used to sing that, And I'll never forget my 5 years there, never.
When I was about 6 years old, I come down with my mum, dad and my brother and watched the game against Man City. You know, I just wanted to be on the pitch and wanted to be a Cardiff City footballer.
I remember Cohen getting the ball from a throw-in, deep, and throwing it inside to me. I just went to him, threw it inside to me, and I tell you now, I didn't know what I was going to do from that moment in time. And I remember turning away from goal and thinking, I wonder if he thinks I'm going to shoot. I bet he doesn't. Turned with the ball inside, and I thought, I'm just going to try and bend it. The rest is history.
Sweet turn by Blake, he's still got it, that's a corner, and that is a quite magnificent goal by Nathan Blake.
I just stood, put my hands in the air, and just, you know, there you go, it's like, that's for you.
It took a magical goal by Nathan Blake to win that game. But the team on the whole, they give everything that day.
And that's it. A famous result for Cardiff City.
He was a great player as well, and he was great for Cardiff, and you know, it was one of the best goals I've seen at Ninian Park, and you know, it was just great that I was there to watch it as well.
It's a beautiful thing. It's a proud thing for me to carry and to have.
It was, without doubt, one of Ninian's greatest days. And in the next round, another Terrace legend almost kept their FA Cup dreams alive.
Further upfield, Gary Thompson down for Stants. Oh, what a fine goal by Phil Stants.
But despite Stants' goal, it was Luton Town who went through. 8 years later, the Bluebirds were at it again. The day League One Cardiff City produced one of the biggest FA Cup shocks in recent times. The 6th of January 2002, Leeds United, Premier League leaders, multi-millionaires, walked into Cardiff's cauldron of noise.
It was brilliant. It was brilliant because it was like facing, you know, people like Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United right now, because they were in the top four.
To actually be pitting my wits against Robbie Fowler was special for me. Mark Viduka, Rio Ferdinand, Alan Smith.
We were given no chance, you know. It's an occasion, you know, not expected to do anything, and we'll clap them after, and brilliant, you know, it's a great occasion and everything, but it didn't happen that way.
As John Charles led the teams out, the Leeds United chairman looked on nervously from the grandstand.
It was a strange day. Certainly the atmosphere at the time was interesting. Some would say intimidating.
Definitely affected the Leeds players. I mean, I've heard that some of them wrote in their books that they've compared it to Galatasaray. The stadium was full in the warm-up, and you look round and you could sense it, that we fancied it and they didn't really fancy it.
But Leeds took the sting straight out of the Ninian crowd.
And that's the opening goal. It's Mark Viduka, and Cardiff City have really gifted Leeds United a goal.
But when Leeds had Alan Smith sent off, the game changed. Step forward, City's captain.
It is Kavanagh with the free kick. Oh, what an equaliser from Graham Kavanagh!
When he whipped it in the top corner there, it was special. I mean, Graham could do things like that.
As City chairman Sam Hammam wound up the crowd, Leeds United's world was about to crumble.
I think Kavanagh just whipped one in, sort of went over my head, and I can remember Leo just getting a slight header, knocking it down.
Fortune West is there!
I think it was David Batty who just sort of deflected off the line back to the sort of 6-yard box. And I just remember it just falling straight to my feet, and it was just perfect.
I was just hoping that it would hit me and go in.
Fortune West is there!